Teen Titans number 8. This has got Benjamin Percy, Dan Abnett, and Christopher Priest all listed on the issue as writers, and Koi Pham on art. So this was the second part. This was kind of it brought in the Teen Titans. Obviously, Damien's like, oh, our Kid Flash is missing as well, and it's like, oh wait, I've been monitoring the Titans. Let's go talk to them because they're flashing.
I love that. Love that Damien has stuff set up at the other Titans tower because he's Damien.
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah, that's just who he is. We see Slade kind of pretend to have car trouble to, get close to young Wally and kidnap him. And that's kind of it. It was basically really mostly, all on the teams like trying to figure out where they are and going to find them, and maybe teasing a little bit more of this. Dick had an agreement with Deathstroke about something. We don't get to know what it is. He admits that he had one, but we don't get what the final sort of thing was.
Because he had to do what was best for everybody, and that's what was best for everyone.
Yeah. So Deathstroke basically tries to convince new Wally that if he goes back in time, if he helps him go back in time and save his son, save Grant, it'll change so much other suffering. He will stop being Deathstroke. All this will end. All the rest of it. And new Wally actually kind of agrees, but he actually basically just tricks him into being jump-started. So Slade somehow has stolen some of his Speed Force connection.
Well, it has to do with the Icon suit and the gravity sheath. With working in conjunction with the Speed Force. Generally, I don't think it's permanent, right?
Yeah, not at all. It's temporarily harnessing the kinetic energy, isn't it?
I do want to point out a really nice moment is when just before Wally agrees, or just after he's agreed, there's a great moment where there's a shadow of him on the wall, and it's like he's uncle/father reverse Flash kind of.
Yeah, I noticed that. It was nice.
It's a nice little touch. Obviously, a big thing in this issue for young Wally is that he feels like he can't trust anyone, because not only did Barry keep the fact that he was Barry a secret, not only did his father turn out to be it was his uncle. He thought it was his uncle. Turned out to be his father. Also turned out to be a raving lunatic that was a supervillain.
And dead.
And now he's found out there's a second Wally that's been kept from him. And Slade lied to him about who he was. He just feels like he can't trust anyone.
So I'm glad that they didn't try to make this Wally Bart Allen 2.0. That he's his own character. He is young Wally, and he's gonna have the trust issues, and which is different from any other Flash, as far as I've ever read. So I do like that.
Yeah.
My big negative with the story is I'm a little bit disappointed in it for what it is, because being such a fan of the Deathstroke book, and I talked to Connor about this earlier in the week, is this does not feel like pre-Slade. And I don't mean just how it's written, I just mean it feels like a completely different character.
No, yeah, it was kind of my problem. I mentioned it last week, how it just brushed over all the events of that book. It's like, oh, he's not blind anymore, that wedding stuff, it doesn't matter. It just kind of picked up with this story. And I feel like it's exacerbated in this one, where it's just to an extreme now, where I don't understand why this Slade's in this mindset, given where he was when we last saw him in his book. It doesn't make sense to me.
Because I don't get, we haven't had any Grant moments in
we would just get into that.
Far. Yeah. We know that he fought the bear for his sons, right? But he's had a much more complicated relationship with Joey than he did with Grant. It seems like Grant was just the hothead that went off and got himself killed, and now Slade's feeling guilty about it, but still,
is it possible? I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Cause I've not read the last few issues of Deathstroke yet, so I'm not quite in the same place as you two in terms of feeling this way. I don't doubt that you're right though. But is it possible that in the next issue, because next issue is Deathstroke, next week's issue is the Deathstroke issue. Is it possible that that's got maybe some flashbacks to just before this arc that maybe sets up why he's doing this?
I hope it does a lot. In the same way that, this issue opened with, it went back and showed us how Wally was involved, young Wally.
Yeah.
I hope that this does the same in Deathstroke, where it goes back to the end of the wedding and tells us, right, from there, why does Slade do this? What causes this?
Because after all...
the story... Go
I
ahead,
was going
Pete.
to say, after all, the way Priest tells his story, he likes to jump around quite a bit and, like, you know, give you
Yeah.
parts out of order. So, even though this one feels a little bit more jarring because it's in a crossover, it's different writers involved, and it maybe doesn't feel like it connects the same way because the tone's a little bit different, maybe it'll kind of click together once you get the full puzzle.
Yeah,
It might.
it fits in with the Judas Contract stuff. Like this is a Slade that I'm familiar with from reading Teen Titans and John's Teen Titans and watching the TV show. You know, the ones that's at constant odds with them. But from the guy that we got recently, it's so weird to be him so focused on Grant just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to read his part of the story, which I like the rest of it. I like the rest of the Titans having to come to terms with Dick keeping stuff from him, and then
I liked all the fun banter between like, the various members, like, you know, like
the whole rooftop sequence.
The whole rooftop sequence is fun. Donna holding up Damien, and then like Beast Boy trying to grab him back, and then some of the other stuff like Donna and Starfire being like, "Oh, we should be running these teams." And like, just all the little exchanges between the counterparts as well, like Tempest to Aqualad, like, so what, are you Atlantean or something? And he's like, I don't really know about that.
Trying to replace me? Yeah. It was.
It's when Damien shouts Titans together, and they're like, really?
Yeah, can he do that?
Did he just actually do that?
Yeah. So no, that's obviously we end with them finding the Wallies, and Slade's got some Speed Force powers, and New Wally's like, oh crap, I'm sorry, that was my bad. I really shouldn't have helped him.
That Speed Force sword is cool as shit, though.
It is.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I like the art as well. I've been quite happy with the art on Teen Titans throughout with Koi Fam. My only one sort of minor criticism is I think he's Slade without the mask is a little bit weird. Maybe it's just because I'm so used to seeing him in the Deathstroke book, and it's such a different. Because I feel like Teen Titans has a much more youthful kind of cartoony look to it. So Slade feels kind of out of place in that sense because I'm used to him looking really serious and grim and like part of this, dark book.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but it's a minor thing. But there's maybe the one thing that stuck out to me in that sense.
I mean, it was enjoyable. Other than everything I'm reading of it, I'm just disconnected because of how separate it feels from Deathstroke, which out of the 3 series is probably the one I've been enjoying the most, and it's the one I'm most invested in. So it feels like the Titans and the Teen Titans feels very much in line with it, but the Deathstroke stuff just feels so divorced that I'm reading it disconnected because of that.
I wonder if that's just a symptom of because Priest is writing such a non-superhero book.
Style of book. Yeah, it is possible.
Yeah. So maybe once you start crossing them over, it starts to feel like it's jarring with the styles a little bit.
Yeah.